Hello beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having an awesome day. It's not going to be an awesome day when I post this, is it? So today is a video I asked you guys if you wanted. So many of you said yes to it. So I'm going to do it even though I have so much anxiety while posting this. And I really shouldn't because it's eyeshadow. So today we're doing 3 looks of the Orgy collection with Jeffree Star. We're going to use both the mini one and the full-size palette to create 3 different looks for you. So use some different versatility we're going to try to get out of this palette. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, before we get started, let me go ahead and tell you a little bit of my disclaimer. I am not judging Jeffree Star as a person. That is not what I'm here to do. This is my job. A lot of you guys come here for Jeffree reviews, and regardless of what I think of him as a person, which is not great, I do review the quality of his products separated from anything else. If you guys don't like me reviewing Jeffree products or anything like that, I do post almost every single day. So there's tons of different videos on my channel, and you can just skip this one. But you did click on it. So anyways, I have gotten so much hate, and people are gonna say you deserve it, and people are gonna tell me like, oh, you shouldn't complain, you should expect this, you deserve this. I've gotten so many threats and hate and losing 100 subscribers a day just from posting my first impressions of eyeshadow, and I think that's crazy. I think it's crazy. You can subscribe or unsubscribe to whoever you want to, but the amount of crap I've gotten over doing things that a lot of my subscribers want is kind of hurtful to me. So I will not be doing any other videos on this stuff or the powder, the luminous powder that I got, because I can't handle the anxiety right now. I'm already going through a lot in my personal life, so I'm going to leave this collection alone after this video. But a lot of you guys did want to see this. I did spend a lot of money on this, so I wanted to like try to make a little bit back from it. But yeah, this is the last video on this collection. I need a break for a little bit to go back to normal. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and get ready with the first look. And I'm going to give you my honest opinions on this palette regardless of anything else around it. Just the quality of the eyeshadow, which is what we're here to do. Alright guys, so for look number 1, I'm going to do something really, really simple. I put a clear eyelid primer on. This is the Alter Ego eye primer on. And I'm just going to use a big old fluffy Soft Blend 30 Sigma brush. And this really kind of actually like semi-dense Buff and Firm blender E39 brush. Just 2 simple brushes that are really just make everything diffused. I want something really simple for this first one because I feel like the other 2 may look kind of similar, so I want to do something kind of light and girly for this one. So first I'm going to take Silk Robe, which is the more slightly peachier shade of the top row that's all very similar, and I'm just going to take this, tap off our excess, ooh, that was a lot of excess, and just set under our brow bone area. Wiping off the excess product off my arm, I'm going to take Bed or Floor, which is this shade right here. Oh, so much shade back in the pan. Tapping off the excess, and I'm going to buff this over our crease. That color didn't show up too much, just a little bit, so I'm going to take another shade now. Let's take Bottom, which is this kind of cool toned brown shade. I'm going to tap twice, tap off our excess, and buff this over our crease as well, hoping to give a little more dimension. You go back in here again. So can we tell the difference? Yeah, you can tell the difference on this shade. It's definitely not as dark as it looks in the pan though. I'm going to go back into a lighter shade now. I'm going to take Blowout, which is more of the orangiest shade in this palette. Tap off our excess, and I'm going to add this to our crease as well. I don't know why, maybe I just want this a little less, just like a regular brown in the crease. I mean, it's going to be, but I don't know, something about me wanted to use that orangey shade, help it blend it all together. So this is our crease area. Ooh, it doesn't look that great. Fix. This is our crease area. It's alright. For lower lash line now, I'm going to take Blowout mixed with tap off our excess, these 2 shades, and I'm just going to dust our lower lash line. Really simple. So our eye look right now is super basic. And for the lid, I'm going to take another basic shade. I'm going to take Glass Sweat, which is this white shimmery shade. It's actually not that much base pigment to it. It's kind of looks like a topper. I'm just going to put this on our lid. Very underwhelming. You can see right through this. I expected like a white, beautiful glass shimmer up there, and instead it's just like some glitter. Like this is nothing on this side. This is something on this side, and it's really not that different other than a couple sparkles. It wouldn't even be a good highlighter. Why does this shade suck so bad? And people are gonna be like, oh my god, you're just trying to be harsh. But literally there's like no pigment behind this. There's no white on my lid. And I apply it with my finger. Like, my finger should apply a shimmer the most pigmented, and there's nothing. Okay, so I'm gonna take this blending brush, brush it all together, drop a brush, pop on some lashes, lipstick, finish up my face. I'll be right back to show you the finished look. I don't think it's gonna look too crazy at all. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. I used the Refined lipstick from Ofra in collaboration with Jen Loves Reviews. I also added a little bit of another glitter. This is the Becca. I will send this to review. It's the Becca Light Gleam Primer and Topper. I'm not really a fan of the green primery side. It's not pigmented enough for me. I'll just show you. See, like, it's okay. But then you're supposed to use a topper over top. So I just took a little bit of this topper, which is like a pink and gold kind of color. And I tapped it on my finger on the little bit because it just wasn't enough glitter for me from the mini palette we used. Overall, I think it looks okay. It's just kind of basic, which I wanted a really basic look, but I really thought that white shimmer was just gonna like stand out in like a really icy white lid, which didn't happen. The mattes in the main palette though were very nice and really easy to work with, blended out pretty nicely. And now let's move on to the second look, which hopefully is a little more fun than this one because I feel like I kind of let you down with this really basic look. Alright guys, so for look number 2, I'm sorry look number 1 was really basic, but I just do not feel inspired by this palette whatsoever. I don't know what it is. I just feel like I'm not my normal mindset, so maybe it's my creativity just down. But for look number 2, I want something very dark, but not like make my eyes look blackened kind of dark. So I have the Alter Ego eyelid primer on my lids right now, and it's set a little bit, so it's a little more sticky. It's kind of a creamy formula. You can use Code Porcelain if you want to save off Alter Ego, of course, and my eyelids are ready. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna take this little Moda little dome dense brush to kind of pack on some color. So let's take our main palette here and let's do a little bit of a halo eye, I guess. Just, I want everything diffused and kind of grungy. So I wish there was more of a mustardy tone in here. There's really not. We have this one shade, which is kind of like a yellowy based brown, but I want like a mustard, like a green in here, like a greeny kind of color would be awesome to add into this palette. But since we don't have that, I'm gonna take Explicit, which is kind of this kind of brown gray on this brush, and I'm just gonna start packing it in the outer portion and inner portion. So I'm just gonna start packing it on and then we'll blend it out over our crease. I'm just gonna leave the middle part blank a little bit. I know this looks weird. And I accidentally added in Happy Ending, so we're gonna use a mix of those too because I messed up. I'm going in with some extra product on a bigger blending brush now to help blend this out. And it's not really blending. Maybe I should have set it with like a white shade first, but I really wanted the darker pigment to stick to the eye base. It's taking me a lot more effort to blend it out, so we'll see if I can get it to look a little better if we add in more colors. Okay, I'm not having much luck. It's kind of stuck. This one looks okay. I can definitely work with that one. This one's just kind of stuck where I put a little more. So I'm going to take in Fluffer, which is kind of this pinkier matte. I'm actually not going to tap off the excess. I'm just going to add this under her brow bone on that same brush. I didn't wipe off the product. I'm just going to put that under our brow bone area. Don't ask me why I'm using a pinkier shade. I think it's just because I'm naturally pinkier, and all these light shades kind of look the same. Like, they don't... This is not a foundation range. We don't need a million different undertones. I see so many people in the comment section of my first impressions video being like, well, it's for makeup artists. It's for professionals using different undertones of the skin. These do not make a difference. They do not. Like, you maybe 3 of them. You don't need a row and a half of very similar colors. I'm telling you, on the eyes with a brush over whatever base or skin color you have originally, these are not going to look all different on the eyes. So they barely look different in the swatches with a finger full pigmentation. So yeah, I don't see why they're all the same on the top row, but I mean, I do like having light mattes, just not this many. But anyways, let's move on. I'm going to add to this crease now because it's not looking very good. I'm going to add Safe Shirk, which is this color right here. Tap off our excess. I'm just going to add this to our crease a little bit higher than we put those darker colors. Okay, so again, this one's looking really nice. Like, this looks really good. I'm really happy with this. This does not. There's something about this inner portion still wouldn't blend out, but if you look at it like this half right here looks fine. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take a little bit of Silk Robe, just one of the top mattes, blend right underneath the brow bone, and then we're gonna be done with our crease. We're gonna cover up this unevenness with some shimmer hopefully, but again, the shimmer the first time we used was like really disappointing, but I'm gonna try to make it work. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of the cut crease canvas from Makeup Revolution in the center of the lid, just so this shimmer pops the most and draws the attention to the center. Just gonna put a little bit there and we'll leave the other sides empty. So I let this get kind of tacky for a second so it's not just wet. And let's go ahead and try to use some of the shimmers. So I'm gonna take Gagging, which is this center shade right, or this top right shade right here. Picked up really well with the brush, I don't know if you can tell, and I'm gonna pack this right on top of that cut crease canvas white concealer-y stuff. That looks okay. Some. That looks okay. It's not amazingly wet looking, it's more on the glittery side, but it does stick. Wiping off our little flat brush now. For the other shimmer, I'm gonna take Explicit, which is kind of this kind of brown kind of color with a slight gold bronziness to it. I'm gonna try to take that. It picked up a little bit on the brush, but it's more of a really kind of matte shimmer consistency, so we're gonna see if it will pack on. I mean, yeah, it's there. Here's nothing. It's there, but it's not like amazingly shimmery metallic. It's very matte with a little bit of glitter in it. Let me show you how I'm doing it to get this on the brush. Like, I'm coating the brush, trying to pick up the product, and it's really just super dull. Like, it's not metallic-y beautifulness. It's just a little bit of glitter on a matte, it looks like, honestly. Going back into one of our crease colors, I'm just gonna blend all of this together. And that is our top lid. So this is our look on the top. It'll look better with lashes, I promise. The lower lash line, I have this really fat, huge, chunky shader brush. This is the Sigma E59. You can use code Porcelain10, I think, on Sigma's website or my link. And I'm gonna take Booty Trap, which is this kind of color. And I'm just gonna buff the lower lash line, honestly. I just got the big brush so we could just done. All right, this is our eye look. It looks okay. I'm not like super in love with it, but I'm gonna pop on some mascara lashes, finish my face. I'll be right back to show you the finished look, and then maybe I'll love it, who knows. All right, guys, this is the finished look. I actually kind of look like how it came out. I think the dark lip is a little extra dark, but it's okay. So this is the eye look. Big lashes, of course, to kind of like not draw attention to the very in the eyes. I just want to be able to highlight when I do blink and stuff. So overall, I actually think this look is pretty cute. I did have a little bit of an issue blending the two dark first colors. Maybe if I did set everything with the white matte first and then blend on top of that, it would have been easier to blend. But again, I don't feel like I should have to do that because I want the darkest pigment first. But anyways, overall pretty good. Not crazy about the darker shimmer. The other shimmer we used actually stuck on top of the stuff pretty well. This one's just like, let me swatch it for you. It's like not my favorite thing in the world. Oh God. Let me swatch a little better than that. Oh yeah, see, it's just not. I don't know. I mean, I swatched that really hard and it just still is not like the best. So overall, I feel like the shimmer palette is a total bust for me so far. The main palette has a couple things here and there I would tweak. I feel like this would be a lot more inspiring if there was a pop of something, maybe like a weird green tone to it. Like I said, something more mustardy, something more yellow would have been really fun in here. Even like maybe a navy color. I feel like something in here to give a little bit more inspiration than just a million very similar shades. But overall, so far, the second look, it's very nice. All right, hello guys, time for look number 3. We're going to attempt something that I haven't done before. So if it turns out like crap, you know, at least it was a fun experiment. So we're gonna ditch the little mini palette because I'm really not feeling it. I'm sorry, his normal shimmer formula is so much better than this, which sucks because this looked really cute. We're just gonna stick to the main palette and do an all matte look since I feel like that is kind of necessary because some people probably just bought this big one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a E35 blending brush, which is kind of like a tapered blending brush. I'm going to dip into one of these. This is Implant, but they all kind of look the same, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to set under my brow bone area. I do have eyelid primer on, and we're going to use a cut crease canvas as well. I feel like I never see any of these colors show up on my skin. Like maybe if a deeper complexion, you'd actually see these show up. But they might come off kind of chalky looking. All right. Underneath there is done. I'm going to wipe off that on my arm. Next, I want to add just some simple colors over the crease because we can't do anything but simple colors. So I'm going to take Suic'de, which is this one, mix with a little bit of tap off our excess. Well, all of it came off, so I'm not going to tap off the excess. I'm going to buff this over our crease really tall because we're going to kind of cut this. And I'm just blending it like this to the outer portion, whatever you want to call that. I don't know how to do these looks. Like I should watch a tutorial, but I just want to see if I can pull it off, and I don't know if I can. Like some people pull off really intricate looks, and I'm sure it takes a lot of practice. I probably shouldn't put my first attempt at one of these things in a video, but again, I don't do these makeup tutorials to like, oh my god, look at these fantastic makeup skills. If I can pull it off, you can pull it off. I'm gonna take my Makeup Revolution cut crease canvas on a little flat Dominique Cosmetics brush. And I'm just gonna carve out the lid space and then leave this open, if that makes sense. Okay, so here's my lid situation. I don't know what this is, to be honest, but like I think I could pull it off with like a little bit of liquid liner or something, but to separate the crease and stuff. So I cleaned off the brush and I'm gonna take a matte shade now. They're all matte shades. I'm gonna take Vanilla Latex, which vanilla latex is latex flavored in some situations. I don't really know, which is kind of like a yellowy matte. I'm just gonna pack it on top of everything. And for the very outer portion, to make it match my skin tone more, I'm gonna go to Silk Robe. So we're gonna go from this one to this one, and if I use the same shade, it might not even make a difference, honestly. I'm gonna take a little bit more to add to our crease. Hopefully I won't mess up and get in the wrong area. I just want to define that a little more. It looks good. It looks good. Like if you don't look at this blueness from my under eyes, that looks good. Oh my gosh, I didn't mess it up. I'm very proud of myself at this very moment. For lower lash line, I'm just going to take a little bit of top mixed with blowouts. Just dust on lower lash line with the E55 brush. Alright, here's the look. I'm gonna pop on probably some liquid liner or some glitter lashes, finish my face. I'll be right back, show you the finished look. Alright guys, this is the finished look. I added a little bit of blue liner into the waterline just because I feel like there was no pops of color in any of these because it's a very neutral thing. So I wanted to add like a little peekaboo of color in here. And I add a little bit of glitter liner into the cut crease thing we have going on. And I think it looks really cute. Like it's not like, I don't think I look the best today, but like the eyes look nice. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started talking about what I think of the palettes as a whole, because I feel like this, I review a lot of palettes and stuff. I review a lot of Jeffree stuff in general, and I feel like this is not at all what I kind of expected. So the mini Orgy palette for me is a complete bust. I feel like he has so many better shimmer formulas. Some people are going to disagree with me on this, but I feel like these are just not, there's not enough base pigment to it. They have more of a gritty texture. They don't have like that nice smooth all over metallic beautifulness that I expect from his usual formula. So this is what I was most excited about, and it's what I'm most disappointed by, honestly. But it does look cute in theory, but these shades, if they were going to be lackluster, they might as well have gone into the big palette. I do think this palette, the main palette, is too big. Even sitting up my Alex Store set back, it's bigger than Cremated, and Cremated was already a big palette on its own, and so much of this is repeat shades that was not necessary. Again, people are like, oh my god, makeup artists use this for different skin tones, blah, 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 blah. This is not foundation, and not every makeup artist even carries nearly this much foundation, even if it was. You do not need every single one of these matte shades. Again, they're like, oh my god, they're different undertones. Barely, like very barely, not enough you'd actually tell on the eyes that like I need a slightly different shade. You wouldn't need that, honestly. So for me, the first two rows are very, I could see these, but this reminds me so much of like a huge blown up Tarte palette or a Morphe palette where a lot of the shades are just very similar. So I don't think this is necessary. If you want a like really nice neutral palette one that has shimmers in it, I would definitely suggest Bare Necessities from Colourpop. Okay, I had to grab mine to show you. But I depotted mine, so ignore this. But this is Bare Necessities from Colourpop. And it's a beautiful neutral palette. It has a little bit more of a warm tone like pinks and reds, and a little bit more yellowies, and all these like nice dark tones for browns. So if you want a nice neutral palette, I would definitely suggest that. I do the code with Colourpop. It's 5 Bridget. I don't make any money off that, but it'll save you $5 off the Bare Necessities palette if you're looking for a big neutral palette with tons of different varieties and it's not all matte. If you're looking for like a smaller palette, I would suggest Heartlit and Bloom for like a neutral palette. I think there's a ton of neutral palettes that are really nice and a way more affordable, and you can get just as many nice and versatile looks out of it. So for me, this is very unnecessary. I do feel like the formula in the big palette is fine. Like there's nothing wrong with the formula in these, except for a lot of it's really repetitive and you can't tell the difference, but the formula of the mattes is fine. So for me, the main palette is better than the mini palette, but the main palette has its own issues, which I feel like we've all stated enough, so I'm not going to keep going over that. Anyways, let me know which of the 3 looks was your favorite in the comment section down below. I think look number 2 was my favorite, but anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Please spread some love out there, not hate, and I'll see you later. Bye.